Julien.
Venice Beach! Today we go to Dior by Kim Jones, who invites another brand called ERL. ERL, Dior ERL.
Bonsoir!
Vous êtes à Los Angeles?
Bah ouais, apparemment.
Christina Aguilera waits in the blue light.
The fashion love.
Tommy Hilfiger and Madame.
I showed on the beach here. Very talented.
Brooklyn Beckham pelz and Nicola Beckham. Michael B. Jordan. Burna Boy is here. Kenny Scharf. Finesse. Skate legend Tony Hawk.
That's been a long time coming.
The color is blue, midnight blue, electric blue, bioluminescent blue, baby blue, gradient blue, soft blue, tough blue, lapis lazuli blue.
It's fashion, you know?
It's just chef's kiss.
Hello, I'm Loic Prigent. Subscribe to my channel to see the blockbuster fashion shows, the young designers, the details, and the ab fab.
It's a great way to live life.
Leave a comment, hit the notification bell,
Subscribe.
and you can binge on all my other Dior by Kim Jones videos.
Bienvenidos al fashion show de Dior.
The whole thing is perverted.
We are in, where are we? I don't even know. Venice? We're here. Oh, yeah, we're in Venice.
Dior takes over Windward Avenue in Venice Beach. Yes, it's not your squeaky clean venue.
Hi, good to see you.
How are you? Loic Prigent. Bonjour.
This is my photo to the hectic right now.
Bonsoir, Venice. We are here for the Dior show. Super, super excited. A bit gloomy, but you're gonna see a lot of exciting things today at the show.
What are you wearing?
I am wearing the new Dior collection, collaboration with Eli ERL, a little lurex, a little gold chain, a little Himalaya, Dior.
Kate Rebay from the New York Times looks suspicious. Derek Blasberg from YouTube Fashion.
Bonsoir, Loic. Bonjour, bonsoir.
You look so expensive, no?
I know, it's Dior.
Oh my god, you guys look amazing.
Say hi.
Lucien Laviscount from Emily in Paris.
I feel wonderful. I'm in Venice, in LA. So happy to be here. This looks incredible. When Kim comes out to LA, to the West Coast, it's magical, and I'm just so thankful to be part of this journey.
I got to talk to Lisa Rina from Real Housewives, and this was my Andy Cohen moment.
Exciting, fun, fab. I love the collaboration. I mean, Venice is fabulous.
Why?
Why? It's the beach. It's California. It's freedom. It's fun.
What is California style for you? How would you define it?
Free, fun. The weather's always fabulous. It's a great way to live life.
There's a metaverse robot camera. They don't need Julien in the metaverse. And we actually met ERL biggest fans.
We're wearing ERL.
Number one ERL.
Number one ERL fans.
Why is that?
Because he makes the best colors.
Yes.
He's my favorite colorist. And all his colors keep you energized all day.
I feel like I'm a kid again when I wear his clothes.
What's on your head?
This is a scarf. It's a Dior scarf. Yes, but I wrap it a specific way.
I'm excited to be here, excited to see the collection. I just want to be surprised.
Chase Hudson, to me, he's a moguls of nails for men.
Oh yeah, I like the nails. It matches the fit.
Everybody's obsessed by your nails.
My nails?
Yes.
Oh yes. It's kind of going along with like chic and like functional, but also being very fun.
Crossing the street, the fashion crowd, led by Michel Lamy wearing Rick Owens.
Moi, je suis ravie d'être sur le boardwalk. Alors, c'est encore une occasion d'y être. C'est sympa. C'est super.
Diego Boneta is here.
Hey, how are you? How are you? Good to see you.
The newlywed newlyweds are here, Brooklyn Beckham pelz and Nicola Pelz Beckham.
Of course. I love Kim. Very close friends with him, so we're very excited.
I got to wear one of his men's suits the Friday night for my wedding. He's amazing, yeah.
Our idol Dan Levy sitting next to Christina Aguilera.
Under this beautiful LA night sky, to have this beautiful moment and to have so much fun.
I expect this show to be real unique. You know, I love both brands, so it's gonna be amazing. Let's go.
3, 2, 1, go.
This is new on the ever-growing calendar, a new Dior show. Usually, we have a spring-summer menswear show in June in Paris. And now there's a spring show, and there will be another summer show.
This is my first Dior, yeah. I'm very excited, very happy to be here. I wasn't nervous at all, and then they told me I was gonna be like #1 leading the show, because I'm mostly it's just walking, I'm following the guy in front. But now I have to, like, if I screw up, I'm not gonna screw up. I got it, it's gonna be fun. Where were we? Okay.
ERL means Eli Russell Linnets. Eli Russell Linnets is welcoming Dior on his home turf. The practice of Eli Russell Linnets is quite wide. He photographs, like this campaign for Kim Kardashian's brand, Skims. He directs video for artists like Kanye West. He did stage design for a Lady Gaga tour. He even did graphics for Comme des Garçons. His brand ERL was launched in 2018 and got noticed worldwide when A$AP Rocky wore this upcycled coat at the Met Gala in 2021. His atelier is in Venice. We met his family and his mum.
So when I started the project, day one, Kim said, go to the archive and take whatever you want. Don't tell anyone, but no, I'm just kidding. I really wanted to look at the years from when I was born, so we went and looked at the 90s Gianfranco Ferré archive. I was more intrigued by someone that wasn't trained as a fashion designer, so that was kind of intriguing to me, and a lot of the mood I was feeling at the time we started the project was the maximalism of the 80s and 90s and this idea of Rodeo Drive. It's pretty interesting that this was like happening at the same time as like Helmut Lang and other designers, so it's a little like psychotic and dissociated to know like this maximalist gaudy stuff was happening at the same time as like other movements in fashion. So I was intrigued by that.
I like the fact that he referenced his year of birth in terms of looking at the archive. I thought that was interesting. So going to the Gianfranco Ferré stuff was interesting. It's something I wouldn't look at because I'm still looking at early Dior.
How did you react when Kim Jones talked to you about the project?
It was like the shortest phone call I've ever had in my life. It was like 45 seconds. He just called me and it happened. And like within like 2 weeks, the whole Dior team was in Venice Beach, like at my studio, and we just designed it.
It was just, it's a kind of a poppy, you know, Hollywood version of Dior, which I think is quite fun.
I think every piece we tried to capture the story of both houses. And so I like the pilling coat. Kind of feels like something you would find at a vintage store, but then it's clashed with the amazing technique and savoir-faire. So for me, it's the story of the two houses.
The coat has a grungy thrift store texture, but a dazzling neck as embroidered as if it came from a doge in Venezia, Italy. Venice meets Venezia, grunge meets baroque.
So then this wall is emerized, which is like, you know when you use a nail board when you've cut your nails and it's like almost like sandpaper. So you take a disc of sandpaper and you rub it in a machine on top of the wool, and that causes this like almost pilling and raises up the surface. So there's a lot of this feeling in all of the fabrics, things that have had a life almost. When we were looking through the archive with Eli, he was really interested in Gianfranco Ferré and this super encrusted maximalist history that exists at Dior, but we don't often think about. So it was really interesting to see his take on the Dior archive, and going for this almost Christmassy, sparkle, encrusted, really rich embroideries.
A lot of ERL in the DNA of my brand is down-filled and a lot of puffer items. So that was like, from the start, we knew we had to make a puffer bag.
Where does this obsession comes from?
Probably like ski culture in California.
There's a ski culture in California?
Yeah.
Ski is a reference with ski pants and ski sweaters, logo and all.
This is based on one of our ski pants that we do, where we had this kind of distorted lines on it. And this one's pretty interesting. It's a cloquet technique, and you see as the canage goes down, it kind of unravels and becomes deformed and distorted. So I like starting with something that seems very restrained and classic, and it kind of becomes destroyed by the bottom.
Where do you ski in California?
Big Bear.
Okay.
Like the unofficial slogan of California is the only place you can ski, surf, and skate all in one day. So when I design my clothes, every piece has those three elements in it.
Let's go, my friend. Go, go, go.
It's all made out of found fabric from California. It's kind of a ERL staple at this point, is these upcycled quilts and patchworking, like the idea of patchworking garments together. So you really get the sense of a person's wardrobe and their life and this character. So it was amazing to have the Dior Atelier patchwork it together. It could either be lying on your couch or look like a couture coat, you know? And the way it kind of goes behind them, it's so regal. This is my favorite. This is based on the Gianfranco Ferré archive. 1991, a big gold necklace with a pearl in the middle. We based the bag on this.
Oh wow!
Do you know the price it will cost?
I guess around about 18 to 20,000.
Oui, donc c'est les riches qui vont avoir mal au dos.
Alors, bon.
Oops. The photos you hear are all like local skaters I photographed in Venice Beach. And actually down here we have women of the Belle Epoque from the late 1800s. So I created this cool collage. A lot of the project together is understanding these two countries. So for me, I was intrigued at what was going on in Paris at the time Venice Beach was created. A lot of people think my work is like nostalgic, but it's actually more like time traveling through decades. It's not nostalgia, it's just character studies of different eras.
In France, blue is a color of kings, but in Venice, blue is another story.
I also think there's something romantic but also royal about blue, you know? It can be luxurious or like trash, I don't know.
Blue is the unofficial color of Venice Beach. Here, it's blue, blue, blue. Walls are painted in blue, the hats are blue, the surfers are blue. The Baywatch cabin, the palm trees are blue. Tennis courts are blue, Julien shorts are blue. The Muscle Beach seats are blue, beach murals, blue. They even have mysterious, fascinating natural bioluminescent waves at night in Venice since 2020. The giant blue waves on the set are very useful to hide some souvenir shops and tattoo parlors. But they're also a reference to the hysterical chase scene in the 1996 movie Escape from LA, in which a wave and a surfboard are used to catch the villain.
It's a wave, because Venice used to be all canals, and there was a canal that went all the way down there, so we wanted to we like the idea of it sort of encapsulating, you see the beach and you see the waves and you're in Venice.
J'ai vu cet endroit-là partout, même dans GTA 5, le jeu là, et le fait d'être à cet endroit-là, incroyable.
That's actually Eli surfing himself.
Oh really?
Yeah.
The tie is a trompe-l'œil of a tie. The verso is printed on the recto. It's a meta tie. The suit is all lining. It's recto recto.
Here we have lining on the outside and the inside.
These trousers are grey, the grey that is a Dior signature, and yes, it's now the same grey and texture as the concrete of the Venice skate park built in 2009. Venice is where skateboarding and its subculture started in the 1970s in empty swimming pools with similar designs as here. It's not just a place, it's a lifestyle.
So these jeans are classic indigo denim, but then on top we've applied a grey flock on the garment, and then it's then washed. So it picks up all of these edges in the washing, rubs off the flock, and gives you this like really worn effect, but on something that feels really velvety. So it's almost thinking about what's the next stage in washing denim, but that uses really low water. It's a really sustainable way of getting this thing that feels vintage, but done using like really minimum amounts of water. And that link between like concrete grey and Dior grey and all of these links together from like this world of ERL and the world of Dior.
It's very almost like elevated street, but like cool and still high fashion and luxury. So it's like he mixes everything together and kind of just makes it his own stamp. And I really, really admire people who really have a clear view of what they're doing with fashion. And he's definitely one of those people.
Original skate legend Tony Hawk gives us some skateboard history background.
Venice is the epicenter of skateboarding. Dogtown Seaboys, Marina Del Rey Skate Park. So much of skating's roots are formed here. So for Dior to embrace it like this is even more special.
C'est ma première fois en tant que des mannequins, c'est mon premier show. C'est pas mal. Ouais, au début j'y croyais pas, j'étais en mode pourquoi moi genre et je trouvais ça incroyable. Même là encore maintenant j'ai du mal un peu à réaliser ce qui m'arrive et tout. Et c'est incroyable genre.
Younger skater Vinny Hacker conquers.
It feels like I have like a comforter on. It feels so nice. I'm a skater, so really wherever a skate park is, but Venice is also really fun to skate at, so this is probably the most chill skate spot ever. I really love tray flips. I'm pretty decent at tray flips. Also pop shoves were like my go-to for a long time.
The mohair sweaters are actually embroidered by hand. Each takes 7 hours to make by Italian artisans.
Eli came up with this logo to do something quite cheerful and like tongue-in-cheek, a bit playful about couture. We wanted to do it and keep that energy of tinsel and something a bit fun. So yeah, we knit the jumper and it's all then linked together, and then this is applied on top by hand.
Thinking about maximalism in American iconography, I started thinking about Christmas and kind of American 50s Christmas trees. So that's where we got the idea to do the tinsel.
It's really youthful, and that's what I like, you know, it's just refreshing and it's cool. I find it really, really cool.
Particularity of Kim Jones, he lets guests wear the collection that is about to walk on the runway. Case witness Winnie Harlow wearing this outfit that's about to be shown.
Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes, oh yes, here we go. Yeah, I mean, babe, we're twins.
This is fresh from the runway, they haven't even shown it. And then it's gonna go to some model or celebrity after me. So that is my contribution to society, borrowing clothes. It's very sustainable.
The beanies with ears are made by Stephen Jones, Dior's official hat maker.
How do you call this hat?
It's a sweater. C'est un pull d'enfant.
Oh, the sweater hats.
They look like little pants.
I know. My goddaughter's gonna wear them as pants.
It's a real sweater.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what this project's all about, is doing things we both wouldn't do in our ordinary lives, you know. And also this one kind of has the reminiscence of Jackie O, but we've styled them all backwards. So you have like the backwards pillbox hat, which is kind of punk, and even for the lookbook we shot in the back of the catalog with models. So it kind of has this weird Jackie O, like Americana to it.
The hair is the work of superstar hairstylist Guido Palau, who got permission to even color and paint some lucky scalps.
I spoke to Kim and just talking about the idea of like LA and sort of a surf punk and sort of all these kind of things, and like
you know, like anime and lots of sort of different kind of cross references. And then I saw the background was super bright blue, and I thought the hair should be very graphic and very kind of like cartoon-like, you know, so it feels very like an illustration.
It's awesome. Yeah, I love it. I can't keep it though. I have to change it.
Mes cheveux, ils ont été faits pour le show, mais après le show et la soirée, je vais raser la partie du milieu et remettre en blanc. Et une fois que je serai de retour à Paris, je vais faire léopard.
Pas mal.
Ouais.
Vous avez fait les ongles aussi?
Ouais, ça je vais les garder les ongles, ça.
It's crazy. It's absolutely insane. I love it.
How long does it take to
Not that long, like maybe 2.5 hours to cut it, dye it, and then do the rhinestones, maybe 3 total, give or take. Not too long. The peace sign, that's exactly what I needed on my head right now.
And yes, the gradient sweaters are calculated to match with the saddlebag's color when worn on a strap.
The idea is that they blend in, but you still have the functionality of the bag.
How complicated is to do this dégradé?
I mean, it was a bit of a challenge for the factory, but we had to make quite a few trials for them to get the right hand. Working with a knitwear is not something they're used to, but with the right reinforcements and things, it worked quite well in the end. So
it's magnetic.
Yeah, so we still have some magnets popped in there.
The Californian silhouette, relaxed and sporty, is a great influence in Kim Jones' work, who previously collaborated with Sean Stussy, founder of Stussy, on a Dior collection, and we actually have a video about it. The laid back becomes evening wear, basketball shorts becoming rich.
So this is 100% silk, and it's a really classic fil coupe technique, which is something that lots of people do. It's quite normal, but instead of doing a design, we just put loads of threads into the fabric and then cut them, because we wanted something that felt almost furry, but in a way that was done with a really couture technique. So when it's woven, all of these threads join up, and then you run a razor through it and cut them.
These are actually shorts from my archive that the Atelier did. My friend that works at Lesage, she made a pair of these for me, season 1 for ERL, and Kim fell in love with them from the archive and wanted to do his version of it. Super amazing, the technique, and you definitely feel like the different waves from Venice Beach, and you see all the shells, and also the different like champagne kind of colors of the waves.
Super precious.
Yeah, I love them.
Phineas is watching the fashion moment.
I'm a fan of art, and I think that fashion isn't an art form that I'm a creator in, just an admirer and a fan, and I find fashion inspiring, and I find this new show inspiring. I'm happy to be here.
The other major skater heritage in the collection are the shoes, inspired by the puffy, generous skater shoes of the 1990s.
Tell me about your shoes.
These shoes are based on like my skate shoes that I wear every day, and so I think I was wearing this the first day I went in, and Kim's like, oh, we have to make those shoes, you know? And it's all filled with toweling, so you have like this sense of the beach inside. You also have all the zigzag stitching, which is similar to like wetsuit. It's how you sew a wetsuit.
Oh, wow.
So there's all these subtle codes.
Time for Dior Shoe Report with Thibaut Denis, the senior shoe designer for Dior Menswear. Dior Shoe Report.
Dior Shoe Report.
Who is Thibaut Denis? He knows everything.
That was the first thing we spoke with Eli and Kim. It was to do a skate shoe with canage. So we tried to find the right scale for the canage, because of course it's usually a little bit bigger on bags and clothing. So we had to adapt it to the size of a sneaker, and we tried to make it the most like cliche 2000 skateboarding sneaker. So you've got the big fat tongue, also the neoprene double back, which helps to keep the foot really stuck in your shoe. You don't need to do the laces. We also have the Dior oblique that disappear as if it was used like while you were skating. You've got the canage at the back of the sole as well.
This is the first time?
Yes, everything has been developed for the collaboration, from the sole to the fabrication, everything is new. The flower, which is one of Eli's DNA symbol. So we have it at the back, and also it's usually more regular, the shape at the back, but we copied the swirl effect like he has on all of his hoodies. The canage has been washed and recolored after, so it's darker where the stitching are.
How did you do that?
All done by hand. You've got the silk, you wash it, and you redo a little bit of spray on top of it. Everything is done by hand. It's gonna be the most expensive sneaker we ever done.
How much?
2,000. We also developed that's very new, and it looks maybe not so difficult, but it's a jacquard lace on 16 millimeters. So it's not a print, it's an oblique lace.
Jacquard oblique lace.
Exactly.
Never done before?
Never. The white one, which I love a lot, it was just trying to find a different shade of white. So you've got more creamy, more yellowish, and everything is kind of wrong, but make it go together. He wanted the colors to be something that is very Venice, so the sand or the water or all of the surf environment. And it's very comfortable because actually you get all of the foam inside. It was the idea of putting a perfect jacket on your feet. We've got the classic B23 silhouette that is like the DNA of the house since Kim arrived, and we applied the swirl effect that there is on the ready-to-wear, also with that puffiness to always like put your perfect jacket on your feet.
There are collectors of those?
Yeah, they're gonna be limited, they're gonna be numbered. We can have like probably like between 2,000, 2,500 of each pair. So per SKU it's gonna be 800 pairs more or less. So that's gonna be like a collector.
I dress with like sneakers like this. I like these sneakers a lot. The hoodie is really my style. I'm really into jeans and hoodies, so you know, it's really a put together fit of me.
Wait for this styling trick. You want to wear a sweater under your suit, but of course, your sleeves are going to look a bit puffy, wrinkly. What do? You just cut the sleeves of the Dior sweater, tac, and you use only the tip of the sleeves for perfect illusion. This is a styling tip. Don't thank me, thank the stylist. There's visible underwear, and even the underwear is mega Diorified.
And what's this?
Oh, this is silk cotton jacquard, and by mixing silk and cotton we can get this mix of matte and shine. So you can see even within the oblique, some are slightly shinier than others, so that gives like more of a 3D feeling to it. Even though it's quite a basic fabric, we always try to make it as rich as possible.
And we like a 3D effect on underwear.
We love a 3D effect on an underwear.
This is a classic graduation robe, but now made with Dior suit fabric. The sunglasses are called Lucky, which is the name of the dog owned by Eli Russell Linnets.
Do you see common points between you and Christian Dior?
Yeah, I think a lot of people forget how provocative Christian Dior was. You know, I think looking back it seems classic and elegant and refined, but at the time it was breaking new ground and redefining what people wore. So I think I approached my work with a mischievous, provocative sense as well.
It was just very easy. He was a joy to work with. You know, it was like super smooth, very clear, just very straightforward. I like what's evolved from it.
Wedding shopping, you know?
Awesome. I mean, I love his pants. Like, literally his pants, he killed it. You know what I mean? And just a monochromatic look. But I think he's really, you know, pushing the mold. You know what I'm saying? Kim always does what he does. You know what I'm saying? He didn't disappoint this time around. So it was an awesome show. I haven't been to one in a really long time, so I'm glad it's like the first one I've been to in a minute.
It was cool. It was fun.
How was the show?
Amazing and so much fun, always.
What did you like?
The finale.
Brother, oh man, good man. I know you're trying to like just get some peace right now. I know. So I'm gonna keep you some of your time. I know you're in there, bro. Appreciate you, bro. Yeah, I'm a little bit. Great shit, bro. Thank you. That's all.
Voila, this was my report about the Dior Resort collection for 2023 by Kim Jones with ERL in Venice. If you haven't subscribed yet, it's a mistake, so subscribe and of course, leave a comment about your favorite shade of blue. Mine is green.
Muchas gracias de ver el video y no olviden de suscribirse al canal.